Views expressed on the following program do not necessarily represent those of this station or its management.
It's a new day, always a new time, and there's a new way, gonna live my life party on.
Yes, indeed. It's called Cover Your Assets. Welcome and happy Saturday morning to you. Sitting here at the round table, the big table, with all of your hosts. We've got Craig Nestor, Foreclosure Defense, here in the room. Todd Rooker, Unbiased Advice, and also Derek Walgrave here, Short Sale and Investment Property Specialist. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Well, good morning. It's football season. Got the high school kicked off last night, and we have some college games today, and we'll be following our teams. Derek, you following your team, right?
The Vikes.
Oh.
I'm sorry for you. That's too bad.
Hey, I'm.
Well,
They're
if
always.
you follow college football and you don't have 5 players arrested, then you don't have enough talent to win anyway.
Somebody will have a gun under their passenger seat within a week or two. I guarantee you guys. This is Cover Your Assets. We talk all things that are going on in this new now. The guys will catch you up to what that is. Feel free to join us, interrupt us throughout the hour. 651-289-4488. That's 289-4488. And if you haven't met us before, please jump online and go to coveryourassets21.com, because you can find great information about the show and the Financial Crisis Bible. What is that?
It is a tremendous amount of information when a person is going through a financial crisis and they're considering all of the different things that are going out there, going on: short sales, loan modification, credit counseling, bankruptcy, deed in lieu, and things of this nature. A lot of information, a lot of people with a lot of different perspectives, and I think people are intelligent enough to make a decision for their own particular issues if they have accurate information. It is free information so that they can make the best choices for themselves and their family.
And what's so interesting about this group around the table now, Derek, we can say, yes, you are a real estate agent specializing in the short sales and the foreclosure defense and whatever, but this is a team here. And you don't necessarily, when you talk to a client, you kind of run them through everybody's opinion. So you're not necessarily taking the interested opinion and just getting a listing for yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that we talk about all the time, how we've got clients come to us and they believe that their best option is to sell on short sale. And a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it can be to stay in their home, and some of the resources that we have here at the table, we're able to send clients in the right direction, so that they know their options and they've got the correct plan in place. And selling their house is not always the option, or buying a house is not always the option. So that's what's neat about this team. We can send out a client to the proper resource and make sure that they're doing the right thing for themselves.
Which is awesome. So, Craig, the good, the bad, and the ugly of buying a home in today's market. You're not the realtor. Talk to me.
Well, I think it's something that we have to address. I mean, we look at who's not buying a house. And you can say, well, who's not buying? Well, if you're unemployed, you're not buying. If you were recently laid off and now you've been rehired but you're underemployed, you're not buying. If you're upside down, you're not buying. Empty nesters aren't buying. College graduates with student loans aren't buying. So you have this time when we have significantly lower interest rates than we've seen in 50 years. So we have low interest rates and we have low cost of housing. We've never seen the quality of housing at this price. So in our lifetime, we've never seen such low cost of housing, and we've never seen such low cost of money, and no one's paying attention.
So from the keen, unbiased advice vantage point, Todd Rooker, that you have when you talk to people, I mean, who should be thinking about being ready right now? Because it's very dicey waters.
That part is true. It's dicey, but that actually creates more opportunity. When things are not so clearly cut, it tends to make for the well-informed a tremendous opportunity. This really is a great market, and undoubtedly we're going to look back 20 years from now and all say, gee, what a great opportunity to succeed with real estate, whether you're an investor or buying a house. Of course, many of us will forget about what it took to qualify for the financing, and being able to have yourself positioned to qualify for underwriting guidelines and be able to buy a house is a wonderful thing, rather than just going into a mortgage broker's office and dumping your stuff on the table and then figuring it out there. If you have some insight as to what it's going to take to qualify for underwriting, you're going to be in a much better position. Today, the move-up market is really the opportunity Remember that if you've seen values on properties decline, and we all have, you can go out to Lake Minnetonka and see homes that were built for $3 to $5 million just 6-7 years ago that are on the market for $2 million, and they still can't get anybody to come and look at these houses. So the reality is, the bigger the house, the nicer the home, the more decrease in numbers you're going to see. In other words, if I've got a $100,000 home whose value has decreased by 1/3, and I've got a $300,000 home whose value has also decreased by 1/3, remember that I'm losing $33,000 on the home that I'm selling, but I'm gaining $100,000 on the home that I'm buying. Likewise, when the market recovers and you see a 10% increase in valuations, a 10% increase on a $100,000 home is $10,000. A 10% increase on a $300,000 home is $30,000. So you win on both sides of that equation in the move-up market. That is a tremendous opportunity if you position yourself for financing to take advantage of it.
See, we know the roles that our upcoming guest here, Heidi Pavelka from Rubicon, she's a senior loan officer. We'll talk with her about some of this. We know what we need to do to put yourself through the process to get qualified for financing. And we know that if we go with Derek, he's going to find out, okay, what can you qualify for? And let's go look for it. But from your standpoint, when you scrub a client to decide if, hey, maybe this is a move that they should be making, I mean, you put them through quite a different process. What does that look like in comparison?
Well, it is an amazing process which most people are not acclimated to. The idea that someone would pay $250 an hour to be put through what I put them through probably is like paying for pain, I guess. But
and suffering.
Yes, and suffering.
That's free of charge.
Pain and suffering.
And they will go through this process oftentimes after having already qualified for a loan, which is really the travesty. And so a couple came to me and they said, "Well, look, Todd, we're to be married in 2 months. Our parents paid your fee to help us get our finances in hand as a young couple." They went through the process, had already a purchase agreement written there to close on the home 2 weeks after they're back from their honeymoon. They're getting married again in 2 weeks. And so I go through the entire budget, and I go through Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, and, they're young and they're in love, so that they want to, nurture their relationship. Yeah, date night, vacations, and all that stuff. So they're living downtown in a loft, and they're paying $1,800 a month. We go through their comprehensive budget, and when we're finished, without putting the house payment in and all the things that they believe should be in their lives with their current income, you take that lifestyle cost against what they're taking home, and it leaves them with $850 a month for a house payment. And they say, "How's that possible? Can't be. We're already making $1,800 per month mortgage payments, and rent payments rather. And oh, by the way, we've qualified for $2,100 a month on a house payment." And as I always say, just because you qualify for the loan doesn't mean you can afford to make the payments. But I'm not even saying you can't afford to make these payments. Here's what I am saying. What are you willing to give up? Ooh, now it gets really serious. And they say, "Well, I just don't understand." And I said, "Well, look, you're living in a loft condo in downtown Minneapolis. You both work downtown. Your driving proximity is next to nothing. You can walk to work, and your gasoline price is going to go from $80 a month to $300 a month. You have no natural gas. Your electricity's $20. You have no water. You have no sewer. You have no garbage. Your internet and your cable TV are built in. You put all of this stuff together, and instantly erodes what you have to work with. And what you should have done is gone through this process, determined what you were willing to give up, to determine how much you had for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, then looked at what that gave you and went to see someone like Heidi at Rubicon Mortgage, who would have shown you what you could qualify based on your credit and all the other factors, and then go looking in that area. But now you've fallen in love with a home, and there's no turning back, and quite frankly, you're walking into a mortgage that you can't afford.
We simply have to learn the lessons of the last 5 years and live within our means. And we really haven't been coached on how to powerfully live within our means.
Right. What you need, not what you want. I mean, that's something that I think we all try to educate our clients. It's what do you really need, and versus what you want, because it's our instinct to go towards what we want and buy what we want, which typically is more expensive.
Granite countertops.
Exactly.
Life is good if you have granite, right? I mean, everything's just fine at
That's
that
what
point.
they say.
And so, Craig Nestor, by way of introduction here, you also deal with a lot of people that are on the other end of this process. They're in the home and something went terribly, terribly wrong. Can you just explain to me what foreclosure defense is and how you fit into the team?
Well, if you're in a hard financial situation now, you are. It's a very crowded place. If you have purchased a house in the last 10 years, you're in this economy whether you want to be in here or not.
I'd prefer not.
But here you are. And here we are. So foreclosure defense is going to allow people a real understanding of, can I save my home? What does that look like? And if I can't, what are my real world options? What's free? What's not? What can the government do? Should I bring in an attorney? The options where we can grease-board a family from start to beginning, and they can pick something that empowers them.
Sounds good. 651-289-4488. Cover your assets.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
Paying taxes is one of the greatest certainties of life. Wouldn't it be nice to have a strategy that puts you and your business in the best possible position to preserve your income and assets? Make no mistake about it, finding the right strategic accounting partner is critical. Arlise Richardson LTD gives you the knowledge and expertise of a large corporate firm with the tailored service of a small person.